Daily Fitness. I'm DeLorean Williams, and here today we have Christina Hughes, the craft beer connoisseur. And what she's going to do today is show me beers that are special for you guys that like to be in fitness, but you also don't want to mess with your waistline too much. So she's going to show us low-calorie beers, gluten-free beers, things of that nature. Take it away.
Today I brought about 4 beers with me. All of them are very health and diet friendly. Got a few gluten-free beers, different styles, ginger, pale ales, triple Belgian ales. So best way to try beer is to taste it, and we're going to get into it.
All right, let's do it. All right, so how did you get into loving beer? Because I'm not a beer lover, so I need to know how this came about.
I'll probably say in college, a lot of my college friends drank beer. I did not drink beer at all. Actually, I didn't like the taste of beer. It's a very much acquired taste. So I'll probably say in college, of course, after the age of 21,
Right.
I started drinking beer, and somebody kind of just shoved a beer in my face and said, drink that. So then I started getting into drinking beer. I didn't like generic Michelob and Bud Light and Coronas and things of such sort. So I started getting into craft beer. Actually had someone introduce me to craft beer and actually gave me a beer randomly. It was a beer by Unibrew called Le Fin du Monde. It's a Belgian triple L, which we actually have here today is a triple L. Yeah, I tried that beer and I was like, beer can taste like this. It was so amazing. So ever since then, I kind of got into drinking beers. I've been blogging and doing craft beer reviews for about 2-3 years now. Okay. At least since 2000. Yeah, about 3 years now. At least since 3 years now. And then I've had hundreds of beers. I've tried all types of beers. I've been to beer festivals. I've traveled and went to different breweries. I collect t-shirts and gear. I love it, and I love that beer is social and you get to connect with people. I can stop at a brewery, sit down, pick up a beer. Someone else next to me I don't know, I can always ask them what they're drinking and start conversation there. I've met so many people and been able to establish great relationships with people just from drinking beer. It's not like a heavy load of liquor where you're drinking something, you're getting crazy drunk, you're sweating it out, you smell crazy. You can try different stuff. You could it's sophistication. You get to actually play with your taste buds, play with your senses, and give something new. And craft beer in itself actually provides a huge range of beers and dessert style ales. You can have a blueberry beer, you can have a pumpkin pie beer. You never know what you might have. And these are handcrafted beers that are by local breweries, made in small batches, not your big monopoly Walmarts of beers. So those are the ones that I like the most, because those are the ones made from the heart. It's kind of like the mom and pop shops versus the Walmarts when you're drinking craft beer and just generic beer. So
the goal is to try to find me a beer I like, because I don't like no beer. Like I was telling you earlier, every beer drinker that I know, they always tell me, oh, you haven't had the right one yet. I've heard that before too.
Yeah.
You haven't had, Anyway, so I need to try this, and hopefully you can help me with that. I can find a beer that I like today.
It's true. There's a beer out there for everyone.
Okay.
I think I might know which one you might favor.
Okay. So we're going to start with this first one. Tell them a little bit about this first one here.
All right, cool. So this first beer is actually my favorite style of beer. This is a triple L, which is a Belgian style of beer. All of these beers that we'll be tasting today are gluten-free or crafted to have gluten removed, as we should legally say. This beer and this brewery, Greens, is actually known and specializing in making gluten-free beers. They make beers that are friendly for vegetarians and vegans. Let's look. Anytime I taste a beer, I check a beer, I always like to read the bottle, see what's going on. Just so you guys understand what gluten-free is for my non-health and diet conscious people. I drink beer a lot, so maybe I got a beer belly, Muslim train right here, but for most of you guys who don't know, gluten, having that removed is basically having no wheat or barley. And if you drink beer, if you know anything about beer has about 4 essential ingredients: water, hops, yeast, and of course wheat or barley. So we're talking about removing one of the main components of beer that's essential in the brew process. So usually with your gluten-free beers, the taste may be altered because you are removing those components. Gluten-free beers are usually brewed with rice, buckwheat, rubber, or different types of different types of stuff that's not wheat. To not be too technical. So I've had a gluten-free beer previously, and I didn't know it was gluten-free, and I actually really enjoyed it. And it came out pretty good. So I'm excited to see what these breweries put together. All of these are craft breweries, so they make small batches of beers. They don't, do a lot. You probably can't find these beers everywhere. But if you are in Tampa, you can always check out Total Wine & More. You can always check out Whole Foods. You can check out ABC Liquor. These are places that are common to carry gluten-free beers and beers of any type in general. So the best way to taste a beer, or the best way to test a beer, is to taste the beer. So I'm going to pour this first, but like I said, I'm going to check out the bottle to see if there's anything important. It doesn't look like there's anything too important on here, but it does have rediscovered beer brewed exclusively from alternative grains, gluten-free the natural way. Greens beers are made only from gluten-free ingredients and do not contain wheat and or barley and fish, peanuts, eggs, soybeans, milk, lactose, all that other good stuff that, you may have allergies for that. So this is actually a pretty friendly beer for people who probably have allergies, definitely vegan and vegetarian.
Right.
Yeah, definitely friendly for that. No sulfites. The ABV, which the ABV you always want to look for, tells you how much alcohol is in there. Usually beers average about 5% ABV. If you have something that's 9%, you're talking about your stomach gonna be burning. I had a beer last night that was 11%. This one is 8.5%, which is naturally right for a triple L. So yeah, that's enough about the beer. Let's taste it. Craft beer enthusiasts like myself always drinks my beer out of glasses. I'm not going to get into the technical stuff about which glass style you should have, but these will work out perfectly for us for tasting beer. Those small little tulip snifters. Well, not snifters, technically snifters are smaller. Pouring beer, essential. You don't want to over pour it because then you'll get too much fuzz and fizz. So I'm just going to pour that delicately. One for me.
All right.
And one for you, who's new to tasting beer.
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, so you were saying there's a style to...
There's the style. So another thing you can learn is how to pick up, some booze if you want to. I think ladies actually like it if you know your stuff about beer.
Right.
So first thing we do is we take a good look at it, see what it looks like. Okay. Is it opaque? Is it clear? Is it fuzzy? Is it hazy? Can you see through it? Can you not see through it? This one, I can see my finger through the other side, so it's see through. And then the color, I'm gonna check out the color. Looks like a nice amber gold color.
Okay.
What color you think it is? You can have I have an exquisite taste bud,
right?
But I can't say that my color game is on point like that. So if you see a color in there that you want to call out, like this is like more of a basketball orange type, feel going on to it.
I'll go with that.
Right. So we see what it looks like. It's hazy. It's clear. We do want to double check and make sure ain't nothing crazy in there that shouldn't be in there. But that would be from the glass, not from the beer.
All right.
Then got like a 1 finger head on there, light head. Okay. Mine measures everything on this side.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
All right.
And then now we're gonna smell it.
Okay.
Tell me what you smell. Nah, you gotta no, that's not how you smell.
That's not. All right. How you smell it?
You smell, them dirty draws that you have in the corner, and you like,
right.
And you have to smell it twice. Like I got to smell that twice because I know that.
Right.
You got to get in real close. Like get real close.
All right.
Actually, smell. It smells like beer. No, smell it. Because I smell fruit flavors. I smell apple.
Okay, yes.
I smell a little apple in there.
Almost like a peachy, almost a little.
Yeah, very fruity aromas. Okay. Not too much floral. Okay. That's certain things that you want to check for in beers. In a Belgian style ale like this, you probably want to check for more of a fruit style. Our fruit smell, probably more banana, clovey type smells or different things like that. This one is very, very fruity. It smells like straight apples to me, to be honest. Okay. And then my favorite part, tasting. Now you can't just taste it.
Okay.
You don't sample beer like you taste wine.
All right.
You don't taste beer, like you drink it. You drink it. Just like when you came in off of the park or something and it's hot and you want to take that cup of water.
Right. You
drink it.
All right. So we about to
cheers to our first beer.
All right.
Gluten free. This is really good. This is good. This is really good.
This is really good. Like dead ass.
I believe that was something else I was supposed to make sure I tell y'all how much these cost. This beer I think cost about $5.99. Purchased at Total Wine. Total Wine actually has a gluten-free section if you are interested in getting gluten-free beers.
This is the gluten-free.
This is the gluten-free, and this is a brewery actually opened in 2004 that has specialized in crafting beers that are gluten-free and friendly for vegetarians and vegans.
Now, with the calories, right, it says 141. Is that pretty low for a beer? Or is that pretty high?
Now you have to tell me, for somebody who's looking not to have many calories, what's a good amount to have?
I would say that's decent. That's okay. If you're looking to go out and drink, let's just say you're counting your calories.
I'm going to say your average beer is probably going to be upwards 2 to 3.
Okay, so this is
at least
good.
Yeah, this is good.
Yes.
And I'm just saying this off the back of my mind, like reading labels, like what
so
about a good 2 to 3.
So you want to make sure, like if you are someone who's counting calories and you know you're going to go out for the day to have a beer, make sure you leave room for what? About maybe between 140, 200
I would say 250 to 300, depending, because when you go out a lot of places actually to drink beer, you don't get craft beer options. You get your generic options, so you're getting more of your Michelobes and your Bud Lights and your Coronas or Heinekens or Guinness, which are very heavy, which are going to be higher in calories. Definitely.
Okay, so be sure that you leave room when you know you're going out and you're counting calories. Leave some room so you can enjoy at least a beer or two. Okay. So I love this.
But there are some low calorie beers that we got to do this again, because I can come back with the low calorie part.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Low calorie.
Because I did focus on the gluten free.
Yeah, you know, which is fine, because everybody on this whole gluten free, I might be gluten. Half of y'all don't even know what gluten is, but that's all right. We ain't gonna go there, but that's all right.
So now the fourth part of it is you enjoy it, the aftertaste, the aftermath. What do you taste now? What do you get? Is it?
I still get the fruity.
The fruity?
And you know, for me, most beers, the aftertaste is what gets me. You know, it's like the initial shock and then the aftertaste, I'm like, I don't like it too much. But this, all the way through, was great from beginning to end. So this was a great pick. I like that.
Now we're gonna start after this, we're gonna start scaling them 1 to 10. Now I could personally say, just from drinking beer day in and day out, this on a scale to 1 to 10 is a very good 8 or 9 to me. And compared to other triple L's, I can tell there's a substitute in here because there isn't wheat and barley, which is to me essential for beer. But the fruit substitute and everything else they use in here is amazing. It's almost like a nice cider.
Yeah,
if you've ever had, I was trying to wait for you to say it. I ain't really had to pull it out of you.
Agree with
you know
how
I was like, maybe she had a cider.
I'm a cider person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 10 because I am not a beer person. So this, for me to actually like it, the first taste is a very, very, very good indication that it's a good beer, at least for me. So I give it a 10.
Right. And the fact that it's 8.5% ABV means that we're sharing this beer, but I could buy this bomber type bottle and enjoy this and actually get a nice buzz off of my beer. I enjoy drinking beer because I don't get pissy drunk. Now, if I want to get drunk drinking beer, I will get drunk drinking beer. But you want to chill, you want to hang, you want to have a good time, you want to enjoy yourself. You want to still be coherent, have good judgment. Drink beer. It is a little much in the heat, I can't lie, but it's cheap, it's nice. If you want to drink with everybody, spare yourself $20, give yourself 10 and go buy you a 6-pack. Hell, you can buy a 6-pack for $8.
About to down the rest of this.
I'm about to down the rest of it too. Cheers.
Cheers. Right, so we got our second beer here. Chris was saying this is probably the most beery one.
This is probably going to be closest to a real beer as we can get. I'm trusting New Belgium on this one. New Belgium is a pretty popular brewery, still a craft brewery, not really micro, kind of bigger, kind of like your in between, kind of like your Target, you know what I'm saying? Or like your Whole Foods, not really your Walmarts per se. Maybe a little Publix going on there, you know, so not too big, but they're definitely a brewery that started as a craft brewery and still is a craft brewery in a sense. They're just a pretty large conglomerate now. You can find New Belgium beers anywhere around all 50 states, I'm 100% sure. Another one purchased at Total Wine. Most of my beers, because I'm frugal and cheap, I don't like to pay more than $2 or $3 for, so I'm guaranteeing you today that you can go pick you up a 6-pack of gluten-free beers for less than probably $13, because most of these beers cost me $2.50 or less, maybe $1.99 to $3. So there's another perk of drinking beer. You're not spending $20 on a bottle of it or anything. You can buy you a 6-pack for maybe $9.99. Your average price on beer, $8.99, $9.99. All right. I'm going to give you the pleasure of opening this one up. So I give you my handy dandy Christmas story, fragile lamp bottle opener.
I don't even know how to open up bottles or nothing
Just
like
open
that.
it real regular.
Oh,
there you go.
no.
See, okay.
Okay.
Now we're gonna let it sit there for a second.
All right, we're gonna let it
Now,
sit.
now wait. Read the label for me if you don't mind. Like, tell me what that says.
All
There,
right.
I think there's something on the side to tell you a little bit more about the beer too.
Okay. It's mutiny on gluten that's demanding we brew up something hop lovers can rally behind without flavor being held prisoner.
So that in itself is saying we found and crafted a gluten-free beer that we think is going to step up to the plate and give you that real beer taste without basically making you feel like you don't have something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You're gonna taste everything in this beer. So, and it's gonna be good, and it's crafted to remove gluten. So an important thing to know is breweries aren't legally allowed to put gluten-free on their beers. They have to put a disclosure, and I find this disclosure to be very weird and contradictory, and I'm going to read it at the bottom. But they usually say crafted to remove gluten. At the bottom, the disclaimer says, product fermented from grains containing gluten and crafted to remove gluten. The gluten content of this product cannot be verified, and this product may contain gluten. That didn't sound too friendly to me if I'm trying to make sure I don't have no gluten in my beer.
Right.
But the rest of the beers we're probably going to taste are going to say that. Okay. You're talking about a brewery that's a regular craft beer brewery. They don't specialize in, beers that aren't made from specific, elements. So while we did taste greens and they specialize in making gluten-free beers, no wheat or barley exclusively, what New Belgium did was use an enzyming process where they remove the gluten from the wheat and the barley in the process of them brewing this beer. So that is why they have to say crafted to remove gluten versus greens who can actually say they did not brew their beer with any wheat or any barley. You're gonna pour these ones for us. Now when you pour, you want to hold and tilt the glass,
Hold and tilt.
Yeah, because you don't want to over pour it.
With the lean.
Yeah,
Okay.
Now let's see how it kind of comes out. It may be highly carbonated, it may not. Let's pause a little, let's see. Not highly, okay, oh, there's a little carbonation.
A little bit.
Let's pour a little one in, because this one's smaller. This isn't a bomber bottle, so we're not going to get too much of this. Hold and tilt. You got it.
Okay.
You're doing good. Okay, let's split them.
Oh, it's all right. Well, let me
I
hold
feel
it
like you're
tilt.
gonna like this one.
You think
Now,
I'm gonna like?
I think you're
say
gonna like
it's
this.
Beery, so I don't know.
This one is a pale ale. Now beers range. You specify beers and you recognize beers basically from color. So the strength of your beers comes from lightness to darkness. So the darker your beers are, the stronger they will be.
Okay.
Like that triple L we just had, usually they're a little darker,
Okay.
But I was expecting that one to be a little darker. It poured out very light and very paler than more than what I thought it would. But usually the darker your beers, the stronger they are. Pale Ls are going to range around 4.5% in ABV.
Okay.
So not a lot of alcohol content. Probably can drink 2 of these back to back and feel perfectly fine.
Okay.
This specific beer, Pale Ls are usually a bit more hoppy. So in your beers that you have water, yeast, what we're not having today is wheat and barley. And you also have hops, which make beer. This one is probably going to be a little bit more hoppy, probably a little bit more bitter. So when you smell this beer and you drink this beer, you want to taste and drink and smell more of a probably piney type flavor, a hoppy type flavor, more of a it could be citrusy or fruity, depending. It didn't really necessarily say it was brewed with certain fruits and stuff, but we want to smell for that too. But you want to probably smell more for your tree type smell scent. Not tree as
Like
in
your bark?
not tree.
Not tree.
But tree like bark, like
If
piney
it-
type scents,
okay,
or
alright.
maybe a bit of a floral aroma.
Okay.
We're getting more to the grassroots types of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So smell like a barky type.
Right. So the color here is the same.
Okay.
Looks like the same amber. That one is very clear.
Very clear.
Yeah, my glass is a little cooler, so.
Well, in the beginning, it had a lot of carbonation. So
It did have a lot of carbonation.
Like after?
Sometimes the head will go down. I was expecting a bit more carbonation with these beers, but obviously not. That's more of a yeast fermentation thing, or a yeast type thing. But I was expecting these beers to be a little bit more soda like. But I mean, we'll see. We're trying a few out, and we've been surprised since. So we're looking at it. Let's smell it. Now this one we might have to pour a little close to the nose. If your nose dip in it, that's fine. That's fine. You might have to touch your nose in it. That smells like straight leaf off of a right. Like you know how you be walking by when you're a little kid and you outside like snatching leaves, snatching stuff off of trees and stuff. That's what it smells like.
Exactly what it
Smells like outside.
All outdoors.
Outside. Smell like when your mama tell you, you smell like outside.
So now we're gonna say
that's the hops that you're smelling.
That's the hops?
Yeah, that's the hops you're smelling. It's a nice floral aroma.
I remember Hops a long time ago. It was a restaurant named Hops. You remember that?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with
Hops. I used to love that restaurant, but they closed down. I don't even know if there's any still around, but I used to love Hops.
No. Now we're gonna taste it. Cheers.
Okay, let's see.
That's a pale ale. Ooh. It's close to India pale ale. Ooh. It is very hoppy. It's not bitter, but it is hoppy and it's quite floral. Floral aromas and floral taste kind of disturb me only because I don't like fragrant taste, because I don't like it to taste like there's perfume in my bottle of beer. I would prefer perfume in my bottle of Prada. I spray on my body whenever I can get on sale. But this one is a little floral and perfumey. Yeah, this one might not. Yeah,
it's not bad. It's not bad.
But if you have guys out there who are used to drinking India Pale Ales or IPAs, which are a very, very popular and common style of beer, this would be their go-to. They would really enjoy this. I personally am not a fan of your hoppier beers and so forth. So this beer, while it's not my favorite for the style of beer it is, it's not far off. This tastes very much like a real beer.
I would have to agree. Yeah, this is not my favorite, but like I said, it's not bad. I've had worse. This is not bad. Let's just say if someone bought it for me, I could finish it. I wouldn't buy it myself, but I could finish it. This one doesn't have the calories, does it?
Let's see. Let's check and see. It should state something there. Let's see. We can always look that up.
Yes.
What we do know about it is 6% ABV, so that's a little higher. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10 on this one.
About a 4 for me.
I'm gonna go because I'm judging on another level. I'm gonna go with a pure 10 on this one.
You went with a 10? You said a 10?
This tastes like a real beer. There is nothing in here. If I were to taste this beer blindly, you cannot tell me this beer was gluten free.
Oh, okay. So
there's nothing in here that doesn't taste like a beer to me, which is why it makes sense they brew pale ales in these styles. The next beer we're going to try is a golden pale ale, so you might like that more.
Okay.
But this definitely makes sense for this style of beer.
Yeah, I'm about to down this real quick.
Hopefully we make it through the next two, because now we're drinking a lot of beer. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
So this one, New Grist from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, established in 1987. They specialize in gluten-free beers as well. Now, like I was telling you, certain people can't use gluten-free on their beers because legally you can't say that if you have anything contained with wheat or barley. We have bigger breweries that probably use an enzymatic process where they remove the gluten versus breweries like Lakefront that actually brew with ingredients outside of wheat and barley. So it's truly a gluten-free beer. This one they actually brewed with rice and sorghum, which are popular for brewing gluten-free beers. I tried one of their beers before and didn't know it was gluten-free. This was the brewery, and I actually did a review on it, and they wrote me and they said, "Oh, you should try our such and such style," and blah blah blah. I tried to write him back like, oh, I'm doing a video about gluten free. You want to send me some or a coupon to get some for free?
Right.
I'm throwing that out there. But I tried their Pilsner style version of this beer, and this is a ginger style ale. I love ginger beer. And for all of my health and diet conscious people, I have a very sensitive stomach. I cook a lot. I do not eat out a lot. I do not like processed foods.
Okay.
So while I'm not in the gym and as fit as I like to be, I'm very conscious about my diet and my intake. Every morning I start with some eggs. I like avocado. I love fruit. I don't drink sodas and juices. I drink a lot of water, and besides that I drink beer.
Good.
But I'm very particular about my diet, more so because I don't want to be feeling crazy later. But ginger is very good for your stomach. All of my people who suffer from any acid reflux, anything, you guys know that you drink ginger, you eat ginger, raw, anything is so helpful for the digestive system. So this is a very...
That's really good that you brought that up, because especially for me, I have a really sensitive stomach, so I can't eat any and everything like processed food or anything like that. Of course, I always tell my clients to stay away from that either way, but for me, processed foods do not agree with my stomach. And like I was saying earlier to you, that I get bloated a lot with certain things, so I have to take a lot of things out of my eating regimen. So that's good that you brought that up.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Definitely. And then like
people think about that.
They don't, or it could be, you know, you're eating too much McDonald's and stuff. I can't eat a burger from McDonald's anymore, but I also can't eat too much, you know, acidic stuff or have salad dressing, that, you know, certain things that really bother my stomach. But my body likes ginger. I have a not a strict diet per se, but because I don't put too much toxins in my body that my body, you know, may not agree with, if it's something it doesn't like, it lets me know real quick.
That's another thing when it comes to fitness. Like, listen to your body. If your body doesn't agree with something,
don't do it.
Exactly. Just stop it. Damn it, stop it.
I love spaghetti, but you know, in the real, I can't handle all of that.
Right. So. Just stop it. So, all right.
So I'm gonna pop this one open.
Okay.
This one's gonna be a ginger style ale. It's not a Pilsner, which is a Yager.
Okay.
We actually haven't had any Yagers yet. We've only had ales. I should have picked up a Yager.
Okay.
Apologies. This is gonna, this is gonna come out really pale, really light.
Okay.
High yellow.
High yellow.
Not too large of a head, less than a finger.
Kind of carbonated a little bit.
Kind of carbonated.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm always scared of that soda taste with gluten-free beers. All right, so now that it's starting to fizz out,
Clear.
it's very light, pale, golden.
Okay.
It look like Beyonce hair. You have to be able to call colors out like that, you know what I'm saying? Look like Beyonce hair about 4 years ago.
Right.
And light head, let's smell it.
It's more like
Smell like straight ginger.
ginger.
It smell like
ginger.
if you love Jamaican sodas, Jamaican colas, and that ginger beer or that pineapple ginger beer, which is my favorite.
You ever had a Moscow Mule?
Oh,
This is what it reminds me
I'm a
of.
sucker for Moscow
I
Mule.
love Moscow Mules, like a lot.
You can make a Moscow Mule with this is ginger beer. This is ginger beer.
Okay.
Let's taste it.
All right,
Cheers.
let's see. Cheers. Oh yeah, I like this. I like this one. You don't like it? She don't like it. You don't like it?
I don't like it.
I like it.
I don't like it. It tastes too not like beer.
Gingery?
It's not the ginger. It's the not beer taste.
Oh,
I feel like it tastes like a ginger apple soda.
okay. I can deal. It's not a favorite. I can deal though. I can deal with it though.
That might be one of the ones that go down the drain.
Right.
All of these beers were purchased at Total Wine. As a reminder, this one was about $1.99, $2.
That one's like
$1.99, $2.
And this one, like on the calorie range, is closer to the 200s. It's 177 calories. No fat. The sodium intake, it's not so bad. Where are we at? It's 71 milligrams on sodium, so that's not so bad. Maybe is it because of the ginger? It tastes a little salty.
It tastes very salty,
Like a
but
little salty. So, I mean, if you're not into like the sodium salty taste, this probably wouldn't be something I would recommend. But again, like I said, if you're counting calories, be sure to. Actually, what is the name of that app that you were saying?
Untapped.
Untapped.
UNTAPPD.
Okay.
Untapped is an app that enthusiasts like myself use. I use it actually more for when I go to breweries and I'm tasting a beer for the first time. I love going to breweries and checking out beers there because you never know what you might get. I had a peanut butter beer. I was like, you know what? This peanut butter beer is good. But those are the beers you want to take to Untappd to let people know what's going on with those, because you may not be able to get the bottle version of that. Untappd will let you know what you need to know for ABV, IBU, color range, taste, style, aroma, appearance. People who drink beer on the daily, who review beer on the daily, who know how to look into other parts of it and sides of it and let you know important facts that you may not be able to look into or know. You want to check out that app to let you know things. This beer is definitely probably one of your more healthier beers. Nugress likes to do healthier beers per se, versus some beers that's just like, oh, it's gluten free. You know, well, this beer has a lot of things important for your diet.
Right. So before heading out for your day, you actually can look up the calories before, so you can know where your range is before you head out, so you can know how many calories that you have left before you go over. Remember, you always want to stay in a deficit when you're trying to lose weight. So if you know that you're possibly going to go over with a beer, don't do it. You're just going to have to just not do it, okay?
I will be honest with you. If you are a gluten-free friendly individual, you are allergic to gluten, you don't want gluten in your diet, period.
Right.
Beer is probably not going to be your go-to for anything.
Right.
Unless you're really trying to buy a bottle and somebody test out some stuff, you know, for people who specialize in it.
Right.
There's not many places that you can find, or not many places you can go that will probably, you know, be beneficial to you or resourceful to your diet and your way of eating.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know too much about wine, but I love beer, and I can guarantee you that, you know, with the many options that we don't have, there are a few options that do cater to people who are looking for things like this.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
I'm gonna dump this beer because I don't like it. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 2.
The more I drink it, the less I like it. So I think we both gonna dump this beer.
I'm gonna just kick that beer right in the.
I give it a 1.5 because she gave it a 2. So
About a 1.7% ABV.
So tell us about this fourth beer, Chris.
All right, so Two Brothers is one of my favorite new breweries. They're from Warrenville, Illinois. Pretty popular craft brewery. They're artisan brewing, so I don't know what that means. But I think that artisan brewing are breweries that usually craft beers with more farmhouse ale, saison type beers. Another artisan brewery is Prairie Ales, if you're familiar with them. They're pretty expensive, so I get their beers when they're on sale, but they're really good. Another one that is crafted to remove gluten, so it's not necessarily gluten-free. The enzymatic process was used to remove the gluten versus it being brewed without any wheat or barley. A golden ale, and I think it's actually a golden pale ale, just from the previous research I did on that. But we can probably expect this beer to probably taste a lot like that last beer we had, but maybe less of that hoppy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, not that one.
Not
the pale ale. Sorry,
Okay.
the pale ale we had, we could probably taste that. This one probably is very similar. Just more of a crisp, lighter, refreshing feeling.
Okay.
Less of the overpowering hoppy or bitterness, or I taste that piney, you know.
Right. Right.
It almost tastes a little masculine, if I might say so myself. So I'm gonna pour this last one.
All right, let's do it.
I don't know what's going on with this bottle, but like it starts way down here. Have like a whole. They're cheating me. I see you, Two Brothers.
By the way, Chris said she started tasting beer in college. I wanted to tell y'all that's how we met. You know, I know y'all see all this chocolate coming across your screen. You need to know how we met. We are products of the University of South Florida.
Go Bulls.
Okay, so that's how we met. Just give you a little bit of background, just a tad bit.
Hey, we doing the filming, sir. We're filming.
It's all right.
Let's go back to how y'all met again.
Okay. So just to give you a little bit of background, as Chris said, she started with beer tasting back in college. That's how we actually met. We are products of the University of South Florida.
Go Bulls.
You know, representing the Bulls. All this chocolate coming across you on the screen.
Educated black women in your corner.
Educated black girl.
Right, and we educating y'all.
Right. Just,
me on beer and her on the health.
Exactly.
And health beer, healthy beer.
So we're gonna get into this last and final beer for you guys and taste it and see what it's like.
All right. So again, I was talking about two brothers. They're from Illinois, Artisan Brewing Company. This one is another one crafted to remove gluten. So the ABV on this one is 5.1%, the IBU 25. So just like that last beer we had, but probably a little darker. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this one. Let me pour yours first.
Yeah.
How rude am I?
Just rude, right?
If you're drinking beer, make sure you use a glass.
Right.
If you like to be a sophisticated individual and you like sophistication, you know, beer works out well for you. This looks like pee. Really ammonia pee.
You're not passing your test.
You're not passing your test with this one. Well, we can see if it's clear.
Right.
And we can smell it.
So let's see what it smells like.
So one thing I wanted to call out is some of our glasses. You have to work with us. We've been doing videos and different beers using the same glasses, cleaning them. But usually when fizz is on your glass like this, or the carbonation is sticking to it, it's not that clean. So I wanted to throw that out there in case you go to a restaurant and you get a beer and it's fully fizzed and it's sticking, or there's suds, you know, kind of like in your, that shouldn't happen. There shouldn't be bubbles clumped up here and there. That means it's not clean. These are clean. You know, we've been drinking beer out of them, but you know, I've only had water to kind of clean it out. So now it's all clean because beer is healthy and good for you.
Cloudy piss.
And yeah, it looks like cloudy piss.
That's exactly.
Look like horse piss.
Right.
Like some animal type pee, you know, like real dark, not for normal humans. If your pee is this dark, you need to go see the doctor. Let's smell it.
Right, let's see.
It's a little fruity, floral. A little fruity and floral. This is going to be one of those complex beers. I got some beer on my nose. I knew that was going to happen. It's okay.
So now we're ready to taste.
Now we're ready to taste our last beer. Compliments of two brothers, Prairie Path. Cheers.
All right, let's see. Not bad. I like it. I like it.
This is very much a farmhouse ale.
Okay.
It's actually really good.
It's actually really good. This one, I believe we looked up on the app, Untapped, and it had like 153 calories. So again, it's not that high in calories, which is not bad. The very first one had 170 or 41, 141. So these two are probably what the lowest.
Yeah, and we've only seen as high as about 170-ish on the calories for all of these beers.
Right, so which is really, really good. So like I said, please, if you're counting calories, just pay attention to your calorie count, okay? So you don't go over. It's simple. Stay in a deficit, you lose weight. You go in a surplus on your calories, you gain weight. Simple as that. You can enjoy life and indulge in things like this as long as you pay attention to what's going into your body and how many calories are going into your body. Now, when you're not paying attention, that's where you get in trouble, okay? So I'm just trying to help you guys out so that you don't go crazy and feel like you can't have a life when it comes to the fitness lifestyle, because you can. You really, really can. You just gotta tweak some things a little bit, you know? So,
as my sister would say, everything with moderation.
Exactly.
You can have as much stuff as you like, but with moderation. I personally probably can't even run down the street if somebody was robbing me and taking my car. But at the end of the day, I don't see certain issues with my health because I make sure my diet is strict. I'm putting good things into my body. At the same time, while I may not put the best things in my body, on a consistent basis, my body likes greens. If I don't eat greens in a day,
It's it.
My body, I can tell a difference.
Right.
I'm just lethargic. I'm not as energetic. I love greens. I love okra. I love spinach. I love broccoli, even though I think it's fake. I eat everything. Peas, everything. You know, sometimes I like a little ham hock in there, but you know, for the most part, I try to steam it.
Right,
you know,
right.
not add too much. And I like the fresh taste of vegetables and food. I mean, most of us probably grow up on processed diets and eating a lot of junk food and stuff. Unfortunately, my mom stayed in the kitchen, so I like a good, hearty, healthy meal. I'm a sucker for meats. I will not give meats up. I have cut back on pork. I probably don't.
She ain't giving meats up.
Oh, I will not give meats up, but I didn't like turkey. I didn't like certain things, but I've learned to alter my diet just because I want to live a long life. I want to be healthy. I don't want to go to the doctor and have issues just because I could have controlled something better with not drinking too much of this or eating too much of that. Diabetes is prevalent in my family, so you know that's very much a diet disease that you know could be prevented. And once you have it, and it's really one of those things that, you know, unless you've been unfortunate in your younger years to pick something up like that, you know, just through genetically, if you get diabetes, it's for a reason. You didn't pay attention to certain things. You put a lot of sugar in your body, you put a lot of this in your body, a lot of that in your body. You didn't care to drink no water. You know, things to filter your body. If you're gonna have a beer, every time I have a beer, I have a bottle of water behind it. So I'm always filtering my body out, cleaning it out, making sure that at least you know that.
And a lot of people don't understand that when it comes to fitness, 70% of it is what you put in your body. The 30% is your workout. Okay, so you can work out all day, 7 days a week, but if you're going back home and putting crap in your body, it's not beneficial. Okay, so just like Chris said, pay attention to what you're putting in your body. Pay attention to what your body agrees with and what it doesn't agree with. If it doesn't agree with something, that means you shouldn't be putting it in your body. Okay, stay away from your processed foods. Try to be more towards your greens and your whole foods and things like that. And I'm the same way. I know what agrees with my body. I can't do dairy. If I do dairy, I'm gonna get bloated, stomach gonna cramp up, and it ain't gonna be nice. Okay?
No ice cream,
no
just
ice
yogurt.
Cream. Just, you know, okay? So pay attention to your body. Stop going against your body, because that's what's going to keep you from pretty much your fitness goals, is if you continue to go against what your body is trying to tell you. So just pay attention to it.
And educate yourself too. It's important. You know, all of this stuff we're talking about, you can Google this stuff. You can research this stuff. You can ask her. You can ask me. We're here to help you. You know, we're always here to support our community and people, you know, especially who look like us, who may not, you know, understand things or know things. And, you know, there are people out here who do this every day who are here to, you know, teach you and help you and want to be in your corner. So don't be afraid to ask questions. If you follow that page or you see that person doing something, shoot them a comment, send them a DM, send them a message and say, hey, how can I, you know, better myself in this way? Where can I go to for these resources? It's so important that we, you know, preserve ourselves and preserve our future and preserve our people, and we got to make sure we're here for years to come. Even if I have no kids or don't have kids, I want to be able to make videos like this years down the line with people and say the same things and it still have the same impact. So.
And that's the thing, and this is the whole point of this video, is to fuse both of our passions together so that we can get people who do look like us to know that, yo, there's information out there and there's people out there that can help you that look like you. Okay, so pay attention. There's information. There's a lot of information out there that you guys actually need to research. Okay, it's really not that hard.
Google it.
Google it.
Google it.
It's there. Okay.
Don't limit yourself. Be limitless.
Right. I like that. I like that. So tell them where they can find you again.
Find me again at The Craft Beer Connoisseur. THEE Craft Beer Connoisseur. If you don't know how to spell connoisseur, Google it. I follow back. If you checked me out and you saw that anything, you know, the best way to support your community and people, I'm a person who deals with the artist community a lot, you know. If you see something you like, share it. Write a comment. Tell your friends about it. Let them know what's going on. It may not benefit you, but it may benefit someone else, and we just want to make sure we spread the wealth. So help us in that way. I am a craft beer connoisseur and enthusiast. I love beer. I know there are a lot of people who look like me who go into places and breweries and they don't see people who look like them, but don't worry about that. If you like a good beer, ask those questions. Let your bartender should be able to let you know, hey, is this low-cal? Is this gluten-free? This is what I like. Can you tell me my options? Can you introduce me to something new? Ask those questions. Expand your wealth. Expand your knowledge. Don't be afraid. I know, like, I'm in a place where, you know, I go to breweries and now they give me beer to try out and to taste, and you know, they give me stuff for free. And they see that, you know, a lot of people who look like me don't know, you know, don't come into places and know the beer or know what they're talking about. But they see me come in, not by myself, they see me come in with my friends and other people, seeing them, introducing them to something new, and then we come back and we come back and we come back. And that's enjoyable. So this is my passion.
Exactly.
Hope you enjoy it.
If you are looking for anything fitness and motivation, you can hit me up on Instagram at Sweat Yo Weave Out. That is SWEATYO. Okay.
Or your hair color.
OUT, okay, at Sweat Yo Weave Out, or on Facebook you can find me under DeLorean Williams. Okay, anything that deals with fitness, motivation, I'm your person to go to. Anything that deals with beer, being funny, anything, she's your person to go to. Okay.
Thank you, DeLorean.
Of course.
We're gonna chug this down now.
Chug this down.
Cheers.
Cheers.